Alliance family. This is yours truly, your boy, Marcus Richardson, here in Centennial, Colorado. I had the honor and privilege of talking about the business plan and kind of going through how this works and why I'm so excited and how it benefits you. So a couple of things we're going to go over tonight. We're going to go over what is the Alliance, okay? We're going to go over what is the opportunity, how do you do it, how do you make money, and who else is doing it. Now, before I get into the details and get into all the exciting stuff, if you know somebody that you've been thinking about is going to be good for this business, that needs to see this business, that it could change their life, has been hit with COVID, and their business is no longer essential, I want you to get them on this phone call because what we do is essential. Everybody needs this product, and we can help every single person. So I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, send out one more text message. Get one more person on, let them know Marcus Richardson is showing the plan. It is tonight. I want you to check this out because it's going to be amazing. Not because I'm showing the plan, but it's going to be amazing because the opportunity right now at our fingertips is incredible. I just was hanging out in Tampa, and I was excited about what I saw when I was hanging with the leaders. I am rejuvenated, I'm refreshed, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys tonight about what the Alliance is. So just a quick little history on my wife and I. Carla is my lovely, beautiful bride, and we have been married for 16 years, and we have two beautiful children. My son, Adriel, he's my oldest, my boy, he's 12, and my daughter, Maya, is 11. And we have actually been working with the Alliance for the last 8 years. I've been doing insurance for 9. Before that, I called the trial run. I was just getting ready, and then I met Andy Albright and Jane, and the relationship I have with Andy has literally changed my life. Were relationships. This is about building relationships, helping people, and taking care of families. That's what we do here at the Alliance. So my job tonight is to go over the nuts and bolts of how we do it. And hopefully you see what I saw 8 years ago, and you're as excited as I was 8 years ago. And you say, you know what? If I don't have my license, I'm going to get my insurance license. If I do have my insurance license, I'm going to pour on the gas like I've never poured on the gas before. And I'm going to do everything I can to help other people because I know that if I help enough people get what they want, I'll get what I want. And I'm going to hopefully show you how to do that tonight. So let's get into the first question, okay? So what is the Alliance? So real quick, everybody, the Alliance is a group of agents all across the country. And what we do is we sell life insurance and we sell annuities. I know it doesn't sound real sexy, but what it does is it helps those families who are thinking about when I go, I want to make sure I'm not a burden on my family. When I pass away, I want to make sure that I leave a legacy to my children. One of my favorite books says you have to leave a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And so in order to be able to do that, you got to put yourself in a position where you have something to leave them. And that's what I love about life insurance because it does give you a chance to leave a legacy, to leave money behind for your family, to take care of all your debts and make sure you're not leaving a burden on them. So that's what the Alliance is, okay? Next is, what is the opportunity? So like I said, I've been doing life insurance for 9 years and I have been with the Alliance for 8 years. But the opportunity for me is what really piqued my interest. So I'm that kind of person that's done everything to make money. Lotions, potions, I've tried it, body garments, everything you can think of. Like if it was going to help us get free financially, I was all in, chips all in. I didn't have to understand how it worked. As long as it was legal, ethical, and I wasn't doing anything immoral, sign me up. I'm for it. Okay. So when they showed me this business model, I said, okay, I like this, but here's a couple of things we had to do. I had to make sure that it was going to be here for a while. And it wasn't going to be one of those fly-by-night things that I had done in the past. So they said, Marcus, here's our opportunity. Have you ever heard of a group of people called the baby boomers? I said, yeah, I've heard of them. War, 1946, 1964, right? They said, yeah. Okay, but here's what you got to know about them, Marcus, is that the baby boomers are turning 10,000 a day. The first one happened in January of 2011, and it's happening at the rate of 10,000 a day. Now, why is that so important? I'm glad you asked. Here's why that's important, because a person that's turning 65, they start thinking about some critical things. One, retirement, right? Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, how am I going to handle all this? And then the older you get, the more you start thinking about your mortality and knowing that, hey, eventually this ride is over and I got an exit stage left. And when I exit stage left, what's going to happen to what I leave for my family? Because none of us can take any of this stuff with us, okay? So we got to figure out how am I going to protect my assets and make sure that Uncle Sam doesn't do that nice thing we call an inheritance tax. That's a fancy way for saying if you don't have your money in a safe vehicle, Uncle Sam is going to take about 49 to 54% of your money if it's not in something safe. That's right. Yep. All that hard stuff you worked for and you want to pass it to your children, if you do not put it in a vehicle that is tax-free, your family is going to have to pay taxes when it pays to them, depending on what vehicle you have it in. So this is why the opportunity is so critical because one, everybody's dying. You can Google it, Wikipedia. It's a proven fact that everybody dies in order to get out of this ride, okay? So why that's so important is because we have a product that helps the family when they die. So that's why life insurance is so critical because this product is going to be there for them, not for them, but for their family when they die. So that's what the opportunity is. You got people getting older, wanting to protect their assets, but they need help. Now, it would be nice if they came up to me and said, hey, Marcus, I love your red shirt. I love the goatee. You look like you could be an insurance agent. And I need help with my retirement, my 401k. I need help with my life insurance. I got a loan that I just took out on my house for $250,000. Marcus, can you help me? And I'll be like, yes, I'm your guy. I can help you. Let me show you where to sign at. Let me show you how to write this check out. And let me show you how this works, okay? But they don't do that. So what we had to do was figure out how to get in front of these people that have the need for our product, which is life insurance and the annuities. So what Andy did is he got together and said, you know what? One of the biggest ways to get in front of people is to send out letters. We got to market to people. We got to let them know that we are on the scene and that we can help them with what they need. So this is when I first saw this, because I came from an industry where they said they had leads, but it was about giving people free stuff, the hooks, the smokes, the gimmicks. And then you get in there, turn on your charm and sell life insurance. And that works for some people, but that just wasn't my deal. I didn't feel like I was helping people. I felt like I was coming over on false pretense. And so when I saw the leads that we have here at the Alliance, I was super excited because it said it was life insurance. It said that they can get mortgage protection to pay off their loan when they die. And it said exactly how it helps them. So I was like, you mean to tell me a person knows it's life insurance? We're not lying to them. We're not doing the bait and switch. And they still fill out the request. They said, yeah, Marcus, that's how it works. I said, okay, I like that. So I got a lead for you. You probably can't see it because the letters are small, but this one right here is a mortgage protection, okay? So if you're following me, I know you can't see all the small writing, but this is a lady named Maria. We know that Maria has a loan for $205,000. We know that she got it about a month ago and that she filled out a form with her birthday on here, her phone number, and we got her address. And she says, please contact me. And she even signs it here on the bottom. And on the letter, it says, hey, Maria, when you die, you can get a death benefit that pays off your mortgage. So that's cut and dry. You also can have disability and critical illness. So if you do get sick, right, the number one reason people lose their home, you guys, is not because of death. The number one reason people lose their house is major medical. So if you are sick, you have cancer, you're getting chemotherapy, you can't work, how do you pay the mortgage? The mortgage company still wants their $2,000 a month or their $1,500 a month. They don't, unfortunately, they don't care that you're going through cancer, you had a heart attack and a stroke. So our plans on the mortgage protection allow people to go in and take some of that money early to pay their bills. Yep, I know. I like that one too. They also have the unemployment benefit, which means basically if you are unemployed because of coronavirus, or what they're calling it now, a nice word for it is furloughed. If you are furloughed for a period of time, we will actually pay the policy. And some of our companies that we work with, like Foresters Financial, they actually have hardship things where they will send you a check if you're in a situation that goes direct to you to use to pay bills, to keep your head above water. And this is why we love the companies that we partner with. And I'll get into that a little bit later. And then they also have a no claim option, which means that at the end of your policy, so let's say you get a policy, you're age 30, you live all the way to age 60 and you're still breathing, you haven't had to file a claim on your life insurance, the insurance company, believe it or not, you guys, they will actually give you all of your money back. I didn't get it either. It makes sense now, but when I first heard that, I was like, how can they do that and stay in business? But they're billion-dollar insurance companies. Like, for example, we work with big companies like Mutual of Omaha. Yep. A lot of, especially baby boomers, they remember Mutual of Omaha by the Wild Kingdom, Marlon Perkins, the animals, and things of that nature. So that gives us credibility because they're a $31 billion life insurance company, been around since 1909. So when a person gets a Mutual of Omaha policy, they're actually getting everything that Mutual of Omaha has to offer. And like you heard me say earlier, one of my favorite companies is Foresters Financial. They're a 145-year-old company, $13 billion. So they have money to pay their claims, which is important. But they also do member benefits, where if someone passes away, they're going to be able to take, if their kids become an orphan, they're going to be able to pay $900 a month to whoever's taking care of the kids until they reach age 18. Yep, just for having a life insurance policy. They give them orphan scholarships, which pay $6,000 a year to go to any school of their choice for 4 years. So every kid that you have, if they become an orphan, gets that benefit. They also have competitive scholarships that are going to pay $2,000 a year if they win that scholarship, and that $2,000 a year is going to cover them, and it does that for 4 years, so that's $8,000. And they're big on giving money away. They do all kind of stuff for the community. We have Transamerica, Columbian Financial Group. All of them are incredible. And here's what we know is that they're billion-dollar companies, so they have money to pay out the claims when a person dies, which is very important. And they also know us on a first-name basis. I went out last week and had dinner with Bruce, one of the reps for Foresters. Incredible guy. Love him. He loves my wife, loves Andy. But they know us on a first-name basis. So what that means is that they work hard to make sure that we're able to help our clients and make sure that we're able to help other people. So these are some of the companies that we partner with. So when you work with the Alliance, you're not working with just a little mom and pop life insurance company. You have multiple carriers at your fingertips, and we have now partnered with Integrity. So it's opened up the playing field where we got all kind of stuff where we can help people all the way up to age 89 to 14 days old. If they need life insurance, we can help them. And that's a beautiful thing for those of you who, if you sold life insurance before, going up to age 89 is critical. Most companies stop after age 85. And some companies said, with this virus going on, I'm not taking on no more cases if they're over 75. So now is the time to get in the business and get moving, okay? So how we do it? A little bit ahead of myself, we got the leads, okay? So the leads, we also have what we call our books. So we're big on self-development. We're big on becoming better and helping you be the best version of yourself. So what Andy did is he wrote several books. This first one is the 8 Steps to Success. There's 8 steps in here that if you follow them, you get started with us, you'll make a 6-figure income in 12 months. You go through here, you grade yourself and say, okay, do I own the product? Am I working? Am I listening? Am I attending all meetings? What is it that I'm not doing that I need to do in order to be successful? Because that's what this book was written, is to show you how to make a 6-figure income in 12 months. 8 Steps to Success. Our next one that we have that Andy wrote, and this is all how we do it, okay? This is how we do. It's like, I'm kidding. But the Millionaire Maker Manual. So this Millionaire Maker Manual takes it a step further. So the 8 steps is 6 figures in a calendar year. The Millionaire Maker Manual shows you how to build a business from the ground up. When Andy started the business, it was in his basement, him and some partners, his wife. Now it's a multi-million-dollar company, 150 employees. He's got 2 jets, Lamborghini, Ferrari, some llamas, bunch of guns. But this is how to build a business. So if you want to get free financially, if you want to leave a legacy for your family, if you want to build an inheritance, that's what the Millionaire Maker Manual does. It tells you how to call referrals. It tells you the 4 basics of recruiting. It tells you all kind of stuff on how to build a business. And here's the beautiful thing. You're being mentored by a person who cares about you, a person who has built a successful business and can teach you how to be successful. And so a mentor is in this book. Andy's waiting to mentor you in the Millionaire Maker Manual. Next one that we have, okay? These are all how you do it, is we have Inside the Circle of You. So this is you, right? And it's funny because of everything that's going on in the climate. And I've had people call me and try to talk to me about all kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's unfortunate. I hate that happened, but I can't control any of that. I can't. I can't control what happens at the White House, at the crack house, at your mama's house. I can't control any of that. The only thing I can control is what Marcus does. And so Andy wrote this one to help people understand, like, look, we got to focus on one thing, and that's what you do, which really is your attitude and your activity. Those are the 2 things that you can control, and this helps you keep your mind right. And again, you're getting mentored by Andy Albright. All right. And then this one, the last one that Andy came out with, him and Jeff Bright co-authored this book, is The House of Values. So we have 8 core values, things that we believe in, like service. integrity, excellence, community, compassion, gratitude. These are things that make up who we are, the culture of our company. And so what Andy did is he got together with Jeff and he wrote out what service is to us as a company, what integrity is to us as a company, what excellence is to us as a company. And what I've found out is that we attract people that have the same values as us. And so that's what this book is right here, to teach you about what we value and what's important to us as a company. And then I love the way they do it, because you get Andy's version. And for those of you who don't know Andy, he's in North Carolina, Union Ridge, redneck, by his own admission, but just down to earth, straightforward guy, keeps it super simple. So he'll say something like, integrity is doing what you say you're going to do and sticking to it when no one's looking. And then I love Jeff, because Jeff is our sociology major, and Jeff will tell you the actual definition of integrity, and then he'll break it down even further. And so you get both versions of what we do and how we do it on our House of Values from Andy Albright and Jeff Bright. All right. So now you got all the values, you got all the information, you're ready to go. You've got the lead. Now what do? So the first thing we do is we track our activity. So it's funny, as an entrepreneur, when you start talking to people about working, you got to help them understand that, look, what we do is work, but it's really just making a bunch of phone calls. So this right here is our activity book. So what we do when we get a person started, we ask you to track your sales dials, contacts, appointments, people you sit with, how many applications you write, how many referrals you get, right? Because that's what keeps your business going. And then how much safe money or annuity money that you find. So those are the categories that make us a lot of money. The bottom column is your business. If you're building a business, how many people are you talking to get started? And then we track that each week in our calendar. So you have a calendar put together. If you're doing this part-time or full-time, you let us know when you're working. And we got this new mantra right now. We call it the 40 Club. Full-time with us is 40 appointments a week. Part-time is 20 appointments a week. And if you do that and stay consistent, you will not have a problem with your cash flow. So that's the sales part of what we do. So let's say you call the lead, you book some appointments. Now what? We have what we call an ATM. This is our Alliance Training Manual. So in this ATM, we have our in-home presentation all in a nutshell. So it talks a little bit about you. It talks about the companies that we work with. It talks about their financial picture, why mortgage protection is important, and then how to show the plans, how to get referrals, because we want you doing all that in the home, how to find the safe money and uncover it and come back and help them with their retirement. Everything you need to be able to be successful in the home is right there in your ATM, which stands for Alliance Training Manual. Or if you think like me, ATM stands for money machine. Yeah, that's right. We've put a money machine together where you can literally go out and print money by helping families. That's what we do at the Alliance. And then lastly, but not least, how we get paid. We got an agent levels chart. We move up the charts to commission grid. I won't get into the weeds with that, but I'll keep it super simple. The gist of it is this. You go out, help a family with the policy. Their average premium is about $100 a month. So most families are going to pay about $1,200 a year. Let's say you send that policy off to Foresters Financial. They're going to take that times $1,200 and they're going to pay you at your commission rate, whatever that commission rate is. So let's say you start out, just keep it super simple, at a 55% commission rate. They're going to pay you about half of that $1,200. So you're going to get a deposit and check in your bank account for about $500. That's easy math. That's the simplest way to do it. And that's the easiest way for me to just explain it without getting into the weeds. Now, here's what I do love. We just came out in June with what we call a new super PAC. So it's a producer appreciation. So if you write so much premium as a personal producer or you're a builder of the business, you can now get contract raises and promotions. That's right. So you literally can start day one and you can come out the gate swinging. And if you're a top producer, you can go to a 120% contract on your own production. That's right. If you sell 70,000 in a month, you do that 2 months in a row, 120%. So now they're going to pay you 120% of every policy that you send them. So that same 1,200 that you were getting paid $500 on, you're now going to get 120% of that 1,200. Again, I can't get into the weeds with this because I don't want to spend too much time, but get back with the person that invited you and say, hey, explain a little bit more to me about that super PAC. Explain a little bit more to me how I can go up those agent levels and get my contract raises and how that works. Can I get a contract raise right out the gate? Like, let's say I come out the gate and I sell 20,000 in a month, 2 months in a row. Do I have to stay at the 55 or can I go straight to the 80? And we will be glad to tell you that. I'll tell you a little secret. You can go straight to the 80. We're big on promoting people and getting people paychecks, okay? So that's how we do it here at the Alliance. Now, I already talked about how we make money, but what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to open it up for my friends. I got some friends on here that have been with us for a little bit, been helping out families and working with us and doing what we're doing. So it's good to hear from one person, but they say the power of a person's testimony is in 2 or 3 witnesses. So I got some witnesses on the call tonight that are going to help us out, talk a little bit more to you about what they're doing and introduce themselves. So the first witness that we have tonight that is having great success with us is my man, Evan Patzer. Him and I have been traveling the world together. I love seeing him bring his mom to Paris. It was incredible. And I do think, if I remember correctly, Evan now has a fiance, and I think they're on track. If they've not already won Thailand, our next year's trip is to Thailand. So Evan, tell them a little bit about your story, how long you've been with us, and what you're most excited about right now in 2020, bro.
Hey, Marcus, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for having me on. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, it's a little soft though. I don't know if you can turn your volume up. Maybe
I'm about to light it up. How about now? Is it better now?
Yes, you're good.
Am I a lot better? I want to get vibrant now.
Yes, you're vibrant now.
Okay, cool. I want to vibrate for everybody. So once again, everybody, my name's Evan Patzer. I am in my car finishing up my day. I've been doing that 40 appointments a week that Marcus was talking about earlier on the call, just going at it. And I'm just so grateful to be invited by somebody I admire and look up to like you, Marcus, on this call, man. Thank you so much. Everything you said, just going back, just listening to the basics of how our system works and the amazing opportunity that we have with the Alliance from the leadership down, with Andy Albright down, is just unbelievable. I'm always blown away all the time. So, but a little bit about myself. I'm from a good old place called Columbus, Ohio, where, there's like farms and stuff out here. And it's funny because I stumbled upon this opportunity back in the middle of 2017. I was going through some rough patches in my life, some major ups and downs. I had moved out to California in the Las Vegas area. I was in kind of like a toxic relationship at the time. My money was getting drained. I'd been taken advantage of and conned, and I was just looking for that place that I could call home. I was looking for the leadership, the culture, the environment that really accommodated and lifted up my morals and values and helped to push me to be the best version of myself. And I didn't know it at the time, but when I applied for an ad to sell some insurance, the only thing that I was thinking at that time was, hey, this is cool. There's flexibility. I can make money whenever I want. But if I want to go travel and go on a vacation, I can't get fired and I'm cool. And there's leads and there's people that are asking for our help. I said, that sounds cool. I mean, I really don't know anything about insurance, but I believe in it. So I'll try it out. But as soon as I got into the company and the organization, I started realizing that I was a part of something much bigger than myself. And so I actually started after getting my license, and I had moved back to Columbus, Ohio to start my new chapter. I started in December of 2017. And I was a little, part-time in the beginning, but I was consistently communicating with my managers, my leaders, and my mentors. And I was going to the events, I was listening to the calls, and I just caught it, And then about halfway through the year, I started taking things a lot serious. I was able to earn that trip that Marcus was talking about, an all-expense paid trip to Paris, and I got to take my beloved mother, who's just she's somebody so special to me. She'd never been really out of the country other than like Mexico, and we had a great time. And I'm tell you what, like if you've traveled, you haven't traveled with the Alliance, you ain't really traveled, because when we do it big. I mean, you get to travel with the people you love and you respect. The experience is that much greater. It's all paid for. You get gifts on your bed every single day. And it's just a memory that'll last for generations to come. And so I'm fired up. I'm approaching 3 years in the business. Right now I'm tracking for 200 some plus thousand this year. My best month is probably going to be this month. I think I'll issue pay over 40,000 worth of business this month. And then I'll do another 40 or 50,000 next month, because I got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. But we got a team growing. People are fired up. They're excited. One of the things I'm most excited about right now is this integrity partnership and having the ability to become a partner with the Alliance and Integrity and earn shares for my hard work and my dedication with building the agency. That's a big picture type thing. I mean, you're talking like that opportunity is not just handed down or given to people like me that, didn't really fill college, I mean, like that's like you kind of like were born into that executive role because you had some family and then you kind of somehow built your way up because you knew somebody in a corporate type thing. And so that's huge. And then just being able to make sure that my family in the very near future has the life that I've dreamed of having for them. So I'm excited, man. And once again, I'm very grateful that you've had me on this call, man. Is there anything else that you wanted me to touch on?
No, you hit it spot on, Evan. I appreciate you for jumping on, bro. Thank you for going out there serving and protecting families and grinding. And I love the fact that you gave some numbers because it'll help me bring it together. So Evan's going to do 40,000 this month. So for those of you who saw that super PAC thing real quick, if Evan does 40,000 this month and 40,000 next month, that'll put him at 100% contract, right? So now he's going to get 100% on everything that he writes. And he has potential to do more than that. And we are going to wrap up the call with a partnership with integrity. So you hit it spot on the head, Evan. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Be safe out there, okay?
Alrighty, brother. You have a blessed evening. Thanks for having me on.
I will, you too. And then we are going to go to my brother from another mother. So my buddy Billy Crane is on. He is out way of Detroit, Michigan. We have kindred spirits. I was traveling the world with Billy. He's been with us a short time. He won his trip the first year he could have qualified for the trip. So Billy's a grinder. We got a lot in common. And Billy's going to tell you a little bit about him, his beautiful wife, his two sons. So tell him a little bit about that, Billy, kind of where you come from. And then same thing, man, what are you most excited about right now in 2020, brother?
Cool. Well, Billy Crane from Detroit. Appreciate you, brother, for the invite. As always, thank Jane and Andy just for the platform to be able to be here. Everybody out there in Zoom land, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's 10 o'clock, 10:30 here in Michigan. And when you asked, I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely, brother. Anytime I get a chance to share the stage with you and Bale and Evan and Lee, I'm like, okay, I got to do that. But I don't even know where to start, man. My former life, I used to be a male stripper. Okay, no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. No, but used to manage LA Fitnesses for about 10 years. Me and my wife, been married at 9 now. She is a radiology tech, so she does everything from CAT scans, MRIs. She's right in the heart of the emergency room, so she was there during the whole COVID pandemic, helping families. So, as we talk about essential workers and us being essential and helping other families, we see it on both sides. So I see, I hear her stories about families that, like, every night she comes home, guys, and she's like, we talk about COVID, but she says every night, because she works in the city of Detroit, she gets x-rays on stabbings, gunshots, and car accidents. Every night, she says she does at least 10 to 20 x-rays on individuals between the ages of 13, well, unfortunately, even younger than that, but just every night, at least 10 to 20 x-rays on somebody who's been stabbed, somebody who's been killed in a car accident or a gunshot. And when I hear that, it like gets me even more, I don't want to use the word excited, but like more pumped to go out there and serve families, because I'm going to come across one of those families that she may see. And she talks about just the wailing that you hear in the lobby. You seeing the families congregate together, just crying and all the emotion of the loss of a loved one. And we get the opportunity that we can't bring that person back, but obviously we do get a chance to help financially. And while they are grieving, like how bad does it suck when someone passes and that mom has to go back to work like 3 days later because she can't afford to miss work? I mean, like, how bad is it a husband loses his wife, or like you say, he has a heart attack? I had a guy once, he drove trucks and he had a heart attack, and had to get back in the truck within a week because he was an owner op, meaning he owned that truck. So if he didn't work, he wasn't going to make money. And we have the opportunity to serve people in that capacity. And I mean, I want to say it's exciting, but it definitely is motivating to go out there knowing that we can serve families in that way. But again, I come from the fitness industry. My wife, that's how I got here. Yeah, my wife works in the hospital. I'm like, how did I get here? But excited. I will be with the Alliance come August 1st. It will be my 2-year anniversary. So I guess I'm about to go into the terrible twos, and I'm excited because I'm about to test some stuff up, brother. That's super.
That's right.
That whole opportunity to get to 120%. I mean, we were talking about it the other day, and when you do the math, like it's what 5 months left in the year. So August, September, October, November, December. I did the math. If you write 70,000 for 5 months at 120%, you're talking about making at least 150,000 over a 5 month period. And that's not counting any team building, any no bonuses. I mean, because we know every month you do over 30,000, there's 10,000, $1,000 that gets put in your account. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. And I know when I came into this, like me and my wife, we made six figures a year. She made 80 to 100 in the hospital. I made, 60 to 80 depending on commissions, and we were still broke. You put two kids in daycare at $200 a week. That's $1,600. You put a mortgage, some car notes, some insurance, and it was like, man, that 120,000 we was making just wasn't enough. And on top of that, she was working overtime. I'm working 60 hours a week, so we ain't even seeing each other. I wanted a girl, but we couldn't work on it because I was always busy. But you come into this atmosphere, right? And you get a chance to not only make the money, but if you're going to spend the time, and I'm not telling you guys not to work hard, like I'm on a mission. The next 12 months, I'm going to do everything I can to become a millionaire through helping other people become successful, and then myself going out there working 7 days a week. So I don't want to scare you, but people say all the time, like, if you can make $1 million, what would you do? And everybody's always like, man, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes. And then Andy comes and say, well, look, work 7 days a week. Go ahead, run at least 40 appointments a week. And then people are like, well, shoot, I wanted to watch the Netflix and, they got a pool party. And it's like, okay, so you really want serious when you say you'll do whatever it takes. So that's really where I'm at, man. I hope that don't sound too audacious. I hope that don't scare individuals. But my first 5 months, we did win the cruise. We made about 47,000 last year. I think just short of 100,000, about 97. And this year, like Evan said, it's going to track way over 200,000. So I'm just crazy pumped. I'm crazy excited. I get more time with my wife. It's just exciting, man. And I just love I got a new family too. So I'm excited to hear what Bill has to say, what you got to say. And hopefully I just inspire somebody just to go after it, man. Worst case scenario, if it don't work, go back to doing what you were doing. If it do work, if half of what we're saying is true, like if a quarter of what we're saying is true, then just think what it could be, right? So give it a shot. Worst thing, just go back to doing what you're doing. And if it do work, we're going to be sending you on some cruises, on some trips, on some jets, and it's going to be a good time. So I love you, brother, truly, man. Like you said, brother from another mother. And I love that, man. You can't control what the White House do, the crack house do, or your mom house can't do. You can control your house. So control yours. I'm controlling, man. I love you guys from Detroit. Billy Crane's out, man.
Billy, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for sharing. I love your spirit and the energy every time you get on, brother. It's an honor to have you. And like you said, man, now is the time for us to do whatever it takes to get free. Opportunities like this have a lifetime on them. And now it's time for us to maximize the opportunity that we have. So last but definitely not least, our last lady, I was out in Tampa last week hanging out with Belle and Jake. And Belle she has served our country. So I respect Belle just for that alone. And the second thing is I respect people who grind, who get after it and work hard. And Belle has done just that, her and Jake. They built an awesome organization, agency managers with us. And so I asked my friend Belle, so I got people from the East Coast, so you can see the East Coast. I got my buddy from Michigan, right? I got my man from Ohio, West Coast. You got me from the Midwest. And then I wanted to get our West Coast out there so y'all don't think it was just on the East Coast that makes this thing work. So Belle is from Washington. She is going to kind of tell you her story, how her and Jake got started. And then same thing, Belle. Tell them a little bit about what you're most excited about and what you're looking forward to in 2020 and give them a little bit of your story, and then I'll wrap us up.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for having me on here. It's so exciting to be on here with Billy and Evan and just the energy that you guys bring. I get fired up all over again. It's like I start all over again. A little bit about me. I've been with Alliance for 4 years. My husband and I, Jake, have been on this amazing journey. And we're excited to see where it's going to go. When we found the Alliance, my husband was still active duty. He flew helicopters, special operations aviation in the Army. And I was a stay-home mom. I'd been a stay-home mom for about 12 years. I did previously serve in the military myself. I was in the Army. I did bomb disposal and did that for about 8 years. Then we had kids. And so I tell everybody that it was time for me to trade my Army stripes for baby wipes. And I left the bomb disposal and started raising children, which is a lot more complicated and a lot more dangerous. Just saying, so y'all know. But I had the honor and the privilege to be that stay-home mom for about 12 years. And Jake, he earned a great living. Over the 22 years of his military service, he had worked his way up to the pinnacle of his career in the aviation field. And about 4 years ago, our son did something amazing. He got into college 2 years early. And as a mom, I was very excited and very proud of him. But no one told our college fund to be ready 2 years early. And so I did not want our resources to be something that held him back from achieving the full potential that he was capable of. So we thought I would go back to work and help supplement those costs. The only thing was our daughter is autistic. And at that time, she was getting in-home therapy 5 days a week. And those were therapies that I needed to be there for. That was training that I needed as a mom and as someone that worked with her day in, day out in order to help her be successful as well. And so we were wondering, it's like, how are we going to find an opportunity where I can be what I need to be for my family and still go out there and do good work and earn an income? Because I know I'm a good worker and I know I can work well. I just knew I couldn't do it on anybody else's timeline. I had to have total control over my schedule. And that's when a great friend of ours told us about the Alliance. And he was active duty as well. Brandon Bulis flew helicopters with my husband. And he told us, he's like, I kind of do this thing on the side sometimes and make some extra money. And I was thinking, what type of job does he have where he can disappear for months on end to foreign places unknown to anyone and not get fired from this side hustle and then show back up and then go back to work as if nothing had happened? So I'm like, what in the world are you doing? I need to be a part of that. And that's when we were introduced to the Alliance. I had never really sold anything before. I did try selling Mary Kay many, many years ago. When you can't sell lipstick to women, sales is not your forte. But what I liked about the Alliance here is it wasn't necessarily just like your classic sales, is we had a system. And if there's anything that I learned in raising an autistic child, is when there's a system in place and I can just plug in and follow the system, I can be successful at that. And so we took the leap of faith because I was kind of like Billy. I was like, it sounds too good to be true, but if it's half as good as they say it is, it's going to be pretty great. And the thing I found out is not the question whether or not the system works, because the system works. We got plenty of examples. I'm one of them. Marcus, Billy, Evan. We got dozens and dozens of examples. It's not, does the system work? It's, will you work? Will you put in the work? And that's what I found. The first full year I was with the Alliance, I was working 2 days a week with the Alliance. And that year we brought in, and I have my numbers right here because I like to be exact, because I don't want to mislead anything. Working 2 days a week for the 12 months of 2017, I brought in $84,036. And then in 2018, we thought, well, 2 days a week was pretty good. Why don't we try to step it up a bit? So in 2018, brought in $186,273. And what fired us up about that is that was the year that what we produced at the Alliance surpassed what my husband produced at the pinnacle of his career in military service. So what took him over 20 years to achieve was surpassed in 2.5 years with the Alliance. And that's when we saw the vision of our future. That's when we knew we could completely replace his income. He could retire, because my husband got shot at for a living. That's what he did for 2 decades. And I wasn't okay with that anymore. I was like, it's time to be done with that. It's time that we move on. And instead of helping others to protect the American dream, it's time to pass that baton and allow us to start living the American dream. And so in 2019, last year, we were both full-time with the Alliance, and we brought in $215,715 last year. And so it's just been amazing what we've been able to do here. And then this year was shaping up great. And then we all know COVID and the pandemic happened, and a lot of people experienced financial struggles. That great solid job they had, the one that they were going to have forever, the one they could depend on, furloughed, shut down, gone. And while that was happening to all those people with those stable, great jobs, our business took off. And so not only did that prove to me and myself that we're recession proof, we're in an industry that doesn't matter what the economy is doing, we're also pandemic proof because we are essential. What we have, people need all the time, no matter what. So there's no bad time to be in this industry. And so we're on track. We're on track right now to do somewhere between 275,000 and 300,000 this year. Right now, where's my notes? Because again, like to be exact. Just this month, and we were out for a week. We were out there in Tampa, which I get to ride on a private jet. I didn't even get to talk about that yet. But we were out there in Tampa for the week, a whole week out of the month. And so far in July alone, we've had deposited into our bank account $20,718.32. And that's with being gone to Tampa for a week. Jake and I earned an incentive ride on Andy's private jet. We had worked on building our business, and he sent his private jet out to Vegas to pick up Jake and I and our great friends, Jason and Tawny Carey from Rancho Cucamonga, California. And we got to ride on that jet from Vegas to Dallas, where we picked up two other great mentors and leaders, Paul and Tamara Roberts. And here's something that was so amazing. Like, I know plenty of y'all out there probably been on a layover at an airport, right? And you get you got to switch planes and all that. Well, we got there and our plane had to fuel up. And so didn't have to mess with luggage or anything like that. We just get off the plane. We walk into this beautiful airport. It was almost like a 5-star hotel. This airport was for these private jets. They got free ice cream. They got free drinks. And they're just come in these big comfy chairs, relax, put your feet up, go refresh, have some ice cream, have a soda. And I'm like, I have woken up in the middle of a dream. That's what that is. I am from the sticks of southeastern Kentucky. Poverty stricken. My dad was a coal miner. And, Kentucky's two regions. There's like tobacco farms and horses, and then there's coal mines and moonshine. And I come from the coal mines and moonshine side. So the idea of being on a private jet and being treated, I felt like I was royalty. And what that gave me, it was a bite of the dream. It gave me a bite of a dream. And I've learned to dream bigger than I ever allowed myself to dream before. And so I'm fired up for not only the rest of 2020, but with this integrity partnership and what the ability we have to just rip the roof off of reasonable. Don't try to think reasonable. I want you to think the most audacious dream you've ever had and put your name on it, because here you can make that happen. And Marcus, I can't wait. We're going to Thailand together. I remember the first time I had a conversation with Billy Crane was in Paris. We showed up in Paris and we got escorted into this full breakfast buffet, into this hotel room. The dining area was like gilded in gold and all this like Renaissance art everywhere. And we were invited in. We just got off the plane. They were taking our luggage for us up to the room, and they had refreshments and breakfast ready for us. And we sat down at the table, and that's the first time I got to speak one-on-one with Billy and his wife. And we got to travel the world together. And I can't wait to see what else we get to do on the horizon. There is no limit. There's just what can you dream, and then get after it and make it happen.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I love when you're on here because you are so precise. And I love when you give the numbers. So I don't know if y'all heard that. So first year was 84,000, 2 days a week. Second year, she ramped it up and it was 186,000. And then third year, right, she did 215,000, and now she's on pace to do around 250 to 300,000. 4 years in. What job do you know that you can get a raise like that, control your schedule, and be making 250 in 4 years? That doesn't require a whole bunch of degrees. Now, Bella's super smart, as you guys can see, but she's also a worker. And this is why I respect Belle, Billy, Evan, and just all the people that we have doing it, because you don't get 84,000 working 2 days a week if you're not grinding. So in those 2 days a week, she's efficient, she's effective, she's able to help families and take care of her own. So that's what we have. That's the opportunity that we have our hands on. And here's what I just am telling you that I'm excited about. I'm excited that you're on this Zoom call, that you're watching us tonight share this opportunity with you. I'm excited that you have a chance to go into 2020 for two things. It's 5 months left in the year. You can win this trip within 5 months. You know how I know? Yours truly did it. We can show you how to win this Thailand trip. So what they're talking about when they say these all expense paid trips, the carriers get together and they pay to send us all across the country. They give us cash when we get there, and they allow us to go out and just have fun, have a good time. And that's what we believe. Have fun, make money, and make a difference. And so if you love what you see and you like us and you say, hey, I love the energy, I love what they were sharing, I can relate to them, those people who are on that call, I want to give this a shot. We want you to get back with the person that invited you and say, hey, what's the next step for me? I have my license or I don't have my license. And that person that invited you will show you how to get rocking and rolling with us so you can come to Thailand with us. Now, the next thing that I'm probably most excited about, you heard Billy mention it, Evan mention it, and Bell, is that the Alliance has just partnered with Integrity Marketing Group. So what that means is that we now, as independent contractors, have a chance to build a business in such a way where they will come to you and say, hey, I love what you've done, and I want to buy your business. So this is how you create generational wealth. This is how you create legacy. And I'm getting back to what Billy said. If it takes 7 days a week to create this thing, if you had to be locked up for 2 years and you came out 2 years later and you had 4 million or 5 million, would you go to jail? But you don't have to go to jail. You can go and have fun helping families doing what we do and just stay focused for the next couple years and build a business that allows you to create generational wealth. What do you want though? That's what literally is on the table, where you can partner with the company and they will come to you because you have built something and say, look, here's what we want to do for you. You got to have a vision. You got to have a work ethic, because without vision, people perish. If a man don't work, he don't eat, right? And we're big on working. We're big on having vision. And we have one of the best visionaries that I have ever met in my life by the name of Andy Albright, who mentors me personally and is helping everybody here at the Alliance. So again, if you're looking at this for the first time and you want to become a partner, or if you're like I was when I first found this on food stamps and state assistance, I wasn't thinking about millions. I am now. But when I first got started, I said, look, I need to make an extra $500 because I got to pay mortgage. I got to pay a car note. I got to get it done. We can show you how to do that too, but the opportunity is huge. We want you to get started with us, get back with the person that invited you, and come and get you some. My name is Marcus Richardson. I'm married to the lovely Carla Richardson. We look forward to seeing you at the top, which is where we're going. You guys have a great evening. Thank you, my guests, Evan, Billy, Bill. We appreciate you guys so much. I love y'all, and I will see y'all next time we get together. Have a blessed evening.